stated and it'd be like nothing, but it always feels like something. Even when I don't speak about it or confront the situation. I'm bothered.
Even though you know it's something that happens consistently, you're bothered. Even though you say, I've done this, I've seen this, and even though you said from your own, with your own verbiage, your own validation, I know. That's a big statement, right? Well, I know, right? But it still bothers you.
I'm still bothered
Can we
what
just
I deem as transgressions.
Right, it still bothers you.
Yes.
Because the question that I asked was, where is the I hope. And that, okay, so where is it from? Where is the hope stemming from? Is the hope stemming from our interactions, transactions with other human beings? Or is the hope in something that is fail-proof in that space of making that which will ever, can ever, has been, will ever be, is being made now? It makes a difference. It makes a difference where you put your hope. I'm going to reread the law of poverty. Law of poverty states that to the degree one withholds one's productivity. Productivity. Let's break it down. We broke down 2 words already. We're doing well. This is the advanced class. Productivity. Productivity is going to be anything that you're able to do to bring about a result that you find meets a need, yours, or the need of the service that you're doing. Productivity. This is general, nothing crazy. What's your definition of productivity?
Taking action, getting things done or made.
Okay.
Producing.
You get some type of a fruit from an investment that you've made, whatever the investment is. Okay. Law of poverty states that to the degree one withholds one's productivity and one withholds one's energy in the hope. And I said, where is it that your hope is stemming from? Is the hope stemming from humans with humans, or is your hope stemming from, I have a God that made me in the image and likeness of God, God's own image and likeness. Therefore, my hope is in the Lord. This way, my hope with the other human beings is not going, careful. My hope with the other human beings is not going to deter me, it's not going to stop me, it's not going to challenge me, it's not going to walk me into me doing less with myself, me doing less with other humans who may or may not be on the same mindset as I, who may. I'm not going to stop being me to be less than me to get along in the community I live in. I'm not going to perhaps tell myself I'm wrong or a freak of nature for having a mindset that is more inclusive. I'm not going to cause myself additional harm and do less because I'd rather wear the offense, or rather wear the ignorance, I'd rather wear the neglect, I rather wear the abandonment, I rather wear the misunderstanding, I rather wear the physical harm or the mental distress or the confusion. I rather wear it as a lesson learned so I don't go back again, thereby never living into the being I was made to become. Don't answer. Just sit with that. And I'm going to read this law. Okay. The law of poverty states that to the degree one withholds one's productivity and energy in the hope that someone else will offer theirs instead, because it's like, no, you better get it from someplace else. Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to because has happened. That to that same degree, an entity earns and experiences poverty because now we are putting ourselves on a limiting space of agreement. We are putting ourselves in a space of limiting engagement for a justifiable carnal situation that could be or doesn't have to be the case in a right now situation. So we take something that is subjective and we stretch it over into a place that it doesn't belong to support an ingraining of a hurt. A lesson learned, yes, but we don't need to continue and take a hot poker that's glowing and ourselves, because just remember, in case you're gonna forget, just remember, just you're gonna forget. We don't need to do that. I mean, we can, but we don't need to engage. When you take from that space, when you take that type of thinking, when you take that type of remedy, if you will, I'm just not going to deal with this person. But let's give ourselves the permission. No, I'm not telling you to deal with anybody that's going to willingly throw toxicity and flood your face and smile at you and talk about, you know, it's nothing, right? You know, it's a joke. You still mad about that? Oh my gosh, just let that go. You need to let that go. Oh my gosh. No, that's not.
Get me again?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you take from that space of, so I'm never going to, and then what you don't realize is if you started off, well, I'm not going to deal with you again, it also becomes, I'm not going to deal with people like you again.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me finish. So in that doing, when you take from that space, you become poorer. It's not me. It's the universal law. I'm just going to read it. When you give, you become richer. Because giving triggers stagnant forces. Listen to me. Just listen, because we talked about this. Giving triggers stagnant forces embedded in your being. And as soon as you share with others, these forces begin to flow abundantly, making you richer. What you're saying is, yeah, so-and-so spoke maliciously against me on purpose. I was giving towards them and sharing with them, and they turned around, took what I gave them, used it for themselves, and then badmouthed me. Or I was here believing this was the cause for this institution that I signed my time up, gave my energy to. Yes, they gave me a check. Yes, they hired me. But then they took the information that I gave and used it for something that, according to their mission, they're not for. When I asked them about it, I was silenced. When I asked them about it again, I was all of a sudden a problem, and then they had to get rid of me. Now I am not in that space, or I walked off the job because it didn't meet what they said it was. They had no integrity. Okay, all right. Oh, I spoke with my sister. I spoke with my brother. I spoke with my girlfriend. I spoke with my mother. And they said this. And I felt like that. And the last time I had a conversation with someone, it went bad. So now you cut off your ability to speak. You cut off your ability to interact and engage with a new situation, a now situation, because of a past situation when it looked like, smelt like, and was whatever it was. So now you're saying, okay, because of that, I'm willing to be poorer in my living dynamic. We don't see it that way. And that's why this whole thing is a tough call. And it's a hard space when we start to block off based on carnal, conscious experiences, solely, mostly, predominantly. Permission to heal is requiring us to be in a space where you're not just carnal minded, where you absolutely understand that my biochemistry that I don't see, but I can go to check out at the lab, is impacted by my experiences. That my bone health density, right? Calcium absorption, the making of osteocytes, all that is also included in the emotional state. That's not fact. We all understand the emotions are not facts, right? I don't know. I didn't do the remediation, but emotions are not facts.
But I know for a fact that emotions cause biophysical.
Yes, they do. And let's get into it, because what does everything have? A vibration. If everything has a vibration, and you and I and she and he and them are hoarding vibrations, as well as being of a certain vibration all by yourself. If you're hoarding the things that hurt, harm, confuse, misaligned you, when do you get a chance to live into your own vibration? Do not answer that question flippantly. I dare you not answer that question right now at all. But if you feel so charged, you can answer that question. What it does is stifle. It'll cause you to put up these limiting boundaries, subjectively placed, thinking that you're doing the best for yourself, thinking that you're getting away from the next set of harms. what you're also doing is putting in place a trap for yourself to support a next set of harms. The law says, universal laws are set so that it is what you hear. It is not what you thought you heard. It is what you hear. So that's why I repeat them the way I do. Law of poverty states that to the degree one withholds one's productivity and energy in the hope that someone else will offer theirs instead, to that same degree, an entity earns and experiences poverty because you stopped remembering who you were. You start only remembering who you're presenting in this body as. That changes the trajectory, that changes the perception, perspective, and schema. It also cuts you off of inner joy. Inner joy cannot be touched by any human doctor, any human specialist, and even some people who are gifted. It's an intimate thing for every person. Inner joy springs with us and supports our health, our human, physical, cellular, biochemical health. That's why when you see peer-reviewed journals, when you do the people who specialize in maladies and diseases, the Sloan Ketterings of the world, the people who deal with the rarity of diseases and trying to find the cure, we're looking for the cure, we're raising all these dollars to find the cure. When you're looking and you're listening and you're going to do the research to see what is clinically supported, right? Oh, no wise tales, no, hocus pocus thing. Okay, fine. Whatever that hocus pocus stuff is. You will hear them say, and the peace of mind. And you'll hear them say things like mindfulness. And if you increase your mindfulness, it will support your healing. They're talking about stuff that they can't see and that they can't measure. But they know exists. They don't know where it is. But they know it works. Oh, and your biomagnetic field. They felt good because they got a chance to nail that one down. Oh, and there's an aura. Everybody has an aura. They felt good again. They're like, oh, we're doing it. God says, slow down. There's only but so far we're going to go with this. Because you don't know what to do with all of the information. How would you use it? We're doing such a bang-up job already with ourselves and with one another. We don't need that much more smoking guns. So in that space, there are things that are unseen in us that actually get the things done. So when we start to cut off what we're going to do with our bodies, we're also cutting off what we're able to see with our eyes. What we're able to imagine from a space of focus. And then you're hoping in transactions with other humans, and the hope should be supported by that which is unseen. The hope should be in whatever relationship you have with the belief of a God or whatever you're calling the higher power. If we are hoping from that space, we don't walk willingly, repeatedly into this law of poverty. We won't do it. Because we're not looking to Sam or Klein Drexler. We're not looking to them for support in being hopeful. We are looking for the truth, not the subjective truth or the temporary transaction. But we're saying, I came here on divine assignment. But then you have to realize that you're a divine being. That's another thing, right? If we don't see ourselves as a divine being, then you don't know that you're on divine assignment. So even if you're just walking to Stop and Shop, or if you're just taking out the trash, if you're not understanding that you're a divine being, then being on divine assignment might seem a little corny or far-fetched or doesn't apply. But if you see yourself as a divine being, an extension of an awesome God, therefore supporting you in your awesomeness, your hope is not going to be set on another human being bad behaving,